like a bad dream. A nightmare from which I know there's no awakening. I don't know how much longer I can take the spectacle. Has the whole world gone mad?
Now, I must emphasize that we've been unable to develop a cure to combat this disorder, and that we can offer only the following preventative measures.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. I am Dave, and over here...
Fred Claus. Hello, everybody. How's it going? If you haven't seen that movie, highly recommend it.
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
It's good. It's cloudy. Cloudy
with a chance of meatballs, yes.
No, just classic Vince Vaughn movie. I was reading Morty's statement, Jerry's statement, howdy, and I said cloudy instead of classic.
I don't know if I'd say it's classic Vince Vaughn. Like,
I would say it is.
Like Wedding Crashers?
It is. To me, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. It's, to me, like Dodgeball Vince Vaughn in a movie. Like every character that Vince Vaughn has ever played, definitely that. Definitely that.
He is a talker.
Yes. Hello, Planetary. Good to have you here. Appreciate it.
New viewer. Unless they just changed their name. Well,
it's probably because, clickbait for the title.
Yeah, thumbnail. That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, I wonder how everybody's doing on this fine Monday.
Dude, let me just say, I've been pretty excited this afternoon. I got off work early.
Yeah, same. Holy cow.
I don't know. I had this wild hair at my ass because I've been trying to do this for a long time and unsuccessfully. But my old computer, somehow it crashed and I couldn't pull up anything.
Well, that sucked.
And for some reason today, I decided I was going to call these computer guys and be like, "Hey, is there any way you guys can recover my hard drive? How much would it cost?" and all that stuff. And
right.
I was like, "All right, let me see if I can do anything at home before I bring it in." So I get home and I find this cord. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use this cord. Use the cord. I shit you not. I got it all working.
Nice.
So currently I'm like backing up everything off of that onto my external hard drive.
Yeah.
And it's like almost 200 gigs worth of stuff that stuff I haven't seen in a long time. So
good.
Yeah, I'm freaking.
I need to do that with my old laptop. I have the hard drive, but it doesn't recognize that I have permission or something on this computer to access those files. So I'm trying to tinker with it, figure out what to do. But anyways, it's not important.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's been a great day. It's just been overall, like, it's not a normal Monday. Today's actually felt really good. And I think it's because I woke up on the right side of the bed, did a little bit of meditating this morning right before I got out of bed, like kind of set some intentions for the day. Felt good. It was great. It was really nice
to do that. Honestly.
Yes, very. And I need to do it more often. I didn't really, like, when I get up, it's usually like, oh, I get ready for work. Blah, blah, blah. But instead of taking my time and setting my intentions for the day and stuff like that, because then I'm just in a hurry to leave for work. But yeah, it was great. It was a really good day. Let's see here. Trying to think how the week went. Segue right into it. Pretty solid week. I didn't really do anything major. Chilled for the weekend because trying to save money. You know how that goes. Yeah. Probably gonna have to replace brakes, rotors, and other things. So that's it's gonna set me back a little bit. But
hey, Kim.
Other than that, pretty excited. Hey, Kimberly. But yeah, I'm super jazzed for tonight's show.
I will say I do have an announcement for my Patreon followers. If you want to follow me on Patreon, the link's in the description. But I've got an announcement that I'll be making tonight. Kind of some new stuff that's going on that I'm going to be doing. So that's after the show.
Speaking of that, I will say it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know how long it's been. This past week, though, it was random. I had a dream that I was on a paranormal show. Hadn't watched this paranormal show in probably over a month. Hadn't really thought about it. Like, I talked about it with Mitch, but I hadn't really but then all of a sudden I just have a dream about the show that I was like, on the show investigating with them. And then I remember like
The Sam and Colby.
no, it wasn't. Actually, it was Project Fear. It was Project Fear. It was awesome. So it was like I was with them, and then they turned the camera over to me, and I just did my spiel of like where to find me and like all the stuff on. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. You can find me on blah 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 blah. I'm on Boogeyman Radio on YouTube, Facebook, like just all this kind of stuff. So it was just funny that I had a dream about that. It wasn't even about the investigation, but we were at some haunted location. It was great. What's up? Hey, Cassie. But that was funny to me. But
I just picture like the YouTubers, like
Facebooker.
the way they would. Have you seen the Shane Gillis skit where he's like the
used car salesman?
no
where
he's like the food critic, and he's got like PTSD, and he has these flashbacks and stuff, and he's like, "Whoa, oh man."
I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to look that one up. I love Shane Gillis.
It's hilarious.
Gosh, he's so dang.
He's like at the end, he got his ass kicked. Like, and he's like sitting in his car, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm driving a fucking convertible and eating pussy."
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great, and he just like peels out of there.
Of course, yeah, of course. Shane Gillis style. All right. His Bud Light commercial is really funny too. It's great.
Yeah, it is. But no, just his behaviors. That's the way he is in that. It's how I picture like all these YouTubers like, "Whoa, hey, we're here at, oh my god."
For those that haven't seen it yet, if you want a really, 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 really wild out there Shane Gillis skit to watch, look up OnlyFans Dad.
Yeah.
It is exactly what you think it is. And you'll never get that out of your head ever again. It's so messed up. But anyways,
sausage, but you don't want to see how it's made.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So other things that are foreign and not so, well, possibly mostly domestic, maybe more domestic than we are. What you got going on? I see the finger.
There's something else. I actually, the video I've got, Ghost of Malvern Manor.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be going up on Dark Realm Network.
All right.
I got to get him the stuff to do that, which, again, I'm doing that tonight.
I say, and for those that don't know what Dark Realm is, what is it?
Dark Realm Network, or Dark Realm. It's a paranormal channel that's currently available on Roku. They are working on getting it on Amazon Fire Stick and Apple TV.
Nice.
And I think Google Play, and a few other places. But right now it's available on Roku. They have a limited amount of content at the moment. Sorry.
Well,
I just said some silly before this.
It'll get there.
They have a limited amount of content right now, but it's growing.
Good.
And there's, I think, right now, new subscriptions are half off for the first couple months.
That's
and
great.
yeah, I'm excited to work with them. I've known Jay and Jason and for a while, but I've been wanting to provide them with some content and everything. And I was like, hey, you guys want this video to put on there? Or, I'm not looking to get paid or nothing for it. Just put it on there, give you guys some content. And they're like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so there's that. And Cassie, in case you missed it, I have a little bit of an announcement that I'm going to be doing on my Patreon. So head on over there, guys.
Look out for that.
In the description. I can't wait to tell people what's going on.
I can't either.
It's interesting.
I'm sure people already know about it, but it's fine.
No, they don't. No. Nobody knows.
Good.
Actually,
I don't even know.
There's maybe 6 people that know.
Yeah, see, I don't even know. I have a guess, though, but I'm not going to say the guess right now. I'll say it after the show. Does it have anything to do with, oh, gosh, is it Jay? The guy with the beard, the glasses, who constantly antagonizes and nothing happens. What's his name?
Jay Lynch?
Yes, Jay Lynch.
No.
Okay, cool. Just taking a guess. Wild hair,
Yeah, Jay Lynch is part of the Dark Realm. It has nothing to do with Dark Realm.
Okay, well, that's good. Cassie says, you're pregnant. Jess, hello.
Dump my water. I'm like,
you're right. Hey, I have that exact same shirt. I love that shirt, dude. It's so good. I just wish it wasn't white. I wish it was black or something.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We're on YouTube, buddy.
DEI up in here. What?
We're on YouTube.
It's fine. I won't be canceled. It's cool. It's a white shirt. Down with old white shirts. They stain too easy.
Take my white shirt off, and I'll have an even whiter.
I'm sure he would actually. See, the white is not from the shirt, you guys. It's the skin underneath it. That's what's showing through.
I don't tan.
No, you don't. You really,
really don't. Oh man!
All right. So speaking of other things that don't tan,
aliens.
I have been wanting to talk about this for a while. I know we've talked about aliens several times.
Yes.
And like I shouldn't say several times, but there's been multiple times that we've talked about them, but we haven't really dove into things within recent times. Like I think it's been over a year.
We haven't really probed.
No, we haven't. Well, we did make a joke that last week about probing. It would be hilarious if it was just like maybe it wasn't you that I made this joke with, but somebody was like, what if like, like, think about it. Okay. For people that get abducted, it's some government agencies like, what can we do to really mess with these people? Like really mess with these people. There's one guy in the back that's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's mess with their butts and then put them off in the desert where nobody can find them and they have to walk like however far along, whatever. And then, could you imagine?
And then somewhere along the way, they're like, we're not even going to touch down. We're not even going to like just gently set them down. We're just going to drop them out.
Literally.
Yes. Water or something.
Yes, absolutely. It's just like,
and then they score them on the splash. And
yeah.
stuff.
I mean, cause you think about it, like you can't really leave, like, there's the reports of like stuff being in the skin and stuff like that. It's like, we can't really leave noticeable marks on people. So what can we really do to mess with people like that they will forever remember? Well,
every time I fart, it sounds like a wind tunnel.
Well, I've never heard of a guy forgetting his first colonoscopy at the doctor. So that's pretty memorable from what I hear. So,
how are you the two fingers?
It just makes sense that they would do that. So, because if they're like, oh wait, I have memory loss or something because of like whatever, but that's the most memorable part because it's the most shocking part. Hey.
You think they roofie these people?
Oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Like we're gonna go with their tap water here. Let them get a drink.
Exactly.
Go nighty night.
Exactly.
Finger them. They're out there finger blasting people.
Oh,
our own government. We put $12 billion in the FB. You put $12 billion in Facebook? No. We wouldn't be that stupid.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's in something productive.
That's probably where that whole joke came from. Was just some intern in the back, like, I got an idea.
And now, P. Diddy was gonna rat him out. And they're like, oh shit, he's got a supply of oils and stuff. Let's put him in jail and get our oil back. Which
apparently it wasn't just oil; it was a concoction of sorts. By the way,
there's oil, lube, and all this other stuff, like gallons of it. Like
wild.
The government supply.
But
it's being held by P. Diddy.
Not to get too derailed into a different theory of things, but so
Bill Cosby was in on it,
right? So oh god. Actually, Cosby was probably doing his own thing, really. But so last year there was a congressional hearing on UFOs / UAPs.
Yes,
and I don't think we really talked about it.
I think we just kind of like pre-show, like
grazed it over, kind of thing.
Yeah.
In that, I would say one of the most, not necessarily startling, but one of the most standoutish things.
Okay.
Was when the guy had mentioned, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Oh, well. He had mentioned that there have been biologics recovered.
Right.
From the crash sites or from the craft. Well, that was also reiterated in the last congressional hearing, which happened this past November. And because of that, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about UFOs and aliens again, because of this other hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were 4 guys that testified. Their names are
Tim Gallaudet.
Timothy Gallaudet, who is a rear admiral, a former counterintelligence special agent, Luis Elizondo. Counterintelligence, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Former NASA UAP independent study team member Mike Gold, and independent journalist Michael Schellenberger. Now, I don't know about a lot of these other guys, except, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but the other two, Timothy and Gold, I don't know much about, but Elizondo and Schellenberger, I've actually done a little bit of research into.
Yeah.
Schellenberger, I would actually be more inclined to believe because he doesn't have eyewitness testimony of this stuff. All of his stories are when people coming to him with their testimonies, and he's just documenting their testimonies. So,
the eyewitness testimonies.
well, no, I'm saying he's not the eyewitness.
Okay.
He doesn't have his own eyewitness testimony.
Personal testimony.
Yes. Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So with how I am and, doing research and stuff like that, to me, that makes more sense than somebody who is a counterintelligence agent becoming a voice for the UFO/UAP community. Because what is counterintelligence a part of?
It's hard to trust the government in the first place.
True.
But then when you have these former government officials, Elizondo was also part of the Department of Defense. I mean, if you're going to, tell people about stuff that the government's doing,
right,
but you can't divulge everything.
Yeah.
Like, how credible is that?
Right. Now, mind you, I can't verify whether these guys, what they're saying is true or whether it's false, right? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we can take in what they say and we can decide for ourselves what we think and believe, to be fair. So I wanted to gather, like, this will kind of be like a two-parter show, not two-parter as in like 2 sessions, but we're going to go a little bit over the congressional hearing, and then we're going to go over recent UFO/UAP video footage that people have caught now, and we're going to discuss whether we think it's real or if it's fake, that whole jargon, right? But yeah, this is definitely something I've wanted to talk about because there is a bipartisan effort to get declassification out there. There are people on both sides that want to know the truth.
And then there's people that want to suppress it too.
And then there's people that want to suppress it. Exactly.
And I'm going to, Morty or Jerry, he doesn't have a stake in it either way. We don't know that though.
Yeah, we don't.
Could technically still be working for the government, and we don't know that.
It could be okay, you're going to go out here and you're going to go do all this testifying, you're going to lie, or we're going to kill you and your family. The government's done your thing.
Or you're under this contract, and if
you're under
a contract, then we'll kill your family.
Literally,
you've never talked to.
Yeah, to me, like a lot of this stuff that was mentioned in the congressional hearing, which we can't go over all of it. It was like a 2-hour hearing, but we'll go over like 5 minutes of the noteworthy stuff. It reminded me a lot of things that 2 guys have been talking about, who I do believe, Bob Lazar and Stephen Greer. I do believe both of those guys specifically. We did
an episode, I believe, on Bob Lazar.
We did. Did we do it solely on Bob Lazar?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Or we did a thing on whistleblowers.
Yeah. So I did. So here's something crazy, and I want to talk about this before we get into it. You remember when we were talking about the Bet Sphere?
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, we remember that. That was a big show. There's been multiple other sightings of things. Can't say devices or living creatures. We don't know. There's been sightings of multiple things that kind of look like that.
Yeah.
And a while back at the beginning, towards the middle of November, late November, I came across footage of this one that it was in an airport of some sort. It wasn't a big commercial airport, but it was right next to a plane on the tarmac, just sitting still. And then you could the video showed it going upwards, but there was a really good still picture of it, and it had weird slash mark designs, almost kind of like a helmet. It was weird. It was cool, but it kind of reminded me of what we had talked about with the Bet Sphere. And to me also, just there's so much video footage of silver metallic things. That reminds me of the Bet Sphere as well, because nobody's ever seen it again. Now, am I saying that is the Bet Sphere? No, I'm not. That's just what we see, But so I want to start off, unless you have something you want to add first before we get into this.
Well, I was going to say, as far as the spheres go, that's something that's really kind of picked up in sightings and everything, or people seeing these spheres.
Yes.
These flying balls, how big they are, from a distance, you can't really tell. But, you brought up the Bet Sphere, and the Bet Sphere, it wasn't big. It was bowling ball size, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't big at all. Yeah.
So I mean, if something's floating up in the sky, if it looks small, who knows what the distance is that you're seeing it? And
Exactly.
It could be like little aliens, you know? Inside
Yeah.
of this
Well,
thing.
yeah. So also, real quick thought that I didn't really think about until I listened to this congressional hearing. Now, mind you, I don't know if they mention it in this clip that I grabbed, but in this hearing, they do mention that they're having to constantly redefine what a living organism is, what a living being is. So this technology, whatever's floating around up there, could be living itself.
Right.
Which there's been theories that that's what the Betsphere was it was a living energy thing. So much like, we send out probes to space, we send out things to space to gather data. Why can't aliens do that here, but more of a living thing to self-sustain itself? Like intelligence to where it's not crashing into a rock or something out in space,
Yeah.
Like,
And
just makes sense.
I've got a video like about these spheres. If I could play it before this.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Yeah, we'll just lower the screen here.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, gotcha.
You
All right. So I do want to put it out there too, for YouTube's sake. This video that I'm pulling up, it's 5 minutes worth of a video. It is free use. It's a congressional hearing thing. If they didn't want it out there, they wouldn't put it out there. So don't take our stuff down.
So I don't know if I need to play the audio or not. But
Okay.
this is one of the videos that got released this year. Was a sphere flying through this location in the Middle East. It's if you think about the Betsphere, this is what it looks like.
New York Post.
Well, there's no audio anyway.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one. This is a good one. And it tracks it. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. The thing's hauling
Yeah.
ass.
It is. It's going fast. Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's a good one.
There is. But yeah, it's interesting.
It is.
There was another one that they released that I was trying to find, but that one's like pretty detailed on kind of what it looks like. You can tell it's metallic.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this video real quick.
All right.
And obviously we'll discuss it as we go and whatever.
Yeah.
Briefly, do you believe, just for the record, that the federal government, any part of the federal government, is knowingly concealing evidence about UAPs from the public?
Yes, sir.
100%.
Oh, pause it real quick. Gaudet is the one that I was Timothy Gaudet. That's the one that I was thinking of as the guy who takes in
Oh, the eyewitness accounts and stuff.
yeah, the eyewitness accounts and writes it and just documents it.
So he's basically like the modern Project Blue Book guy.
Sure. I don't what? I don't guess I don't.
There was a specific individual that was assigned Project Blue Book.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, so he's pretty much he's in charge of that, but it's his own independent research. He's not.
Okay.
I don't think he's like contacted and works for the government kind of thing. I think it's his own research of people coming forward and talking about stuff. All right.
Yes.
Concealing evidence about UAPs from the public?
Yes, sir.
100%. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I also want to just go down the line. I know many of you have already said this, but just for the record again, just briefly, what do you believe UAPs could be or are?
Your mom.
Strong evidence that they are non-human, higher intelligence.
I echo my colleague's comment, sir.
Genuinely do not know.
Don't know, but we must find out.
Okay, so real quick, Timothy Gaudet is the guy on the left. Luis Elizondo is middle left. Schellenberger is middle right. Gold is far right. I should have said that in the beginning. Oh well.
Thank you.
In the discussions, it's simply about material, or is there discussion about it was previously testified that there was biologics that were collected. Are you aware of any of that?
I am, sir, aware of the reporting that biologics have been recovered. Again, my focus was more nuts and bolts, looking at the physical aspects of these phenomenon, how they interacted around military equities and nuclear equities. So I'm certainly not a medical expert.
Okay.
I would not be able to.
Pause right there. So Luis Elizondo, that's the guy that's speaking. He was former Department of Defense. So I would see, you can see why his expertise would be like what's going on around military bases.
Yes,
and things like that.
It's how does this work, not what's with the beings inside the craft.
Yeah,
there's other people that can worry about that.
They're looking at protecting and stopping.
Yes,
rather than
exactly. And I do want to give a quick shout out. You can kind of see it, but on the TikTok at whatever, I think it's Sleazy Podcast, they put this video together, or they got it from somewhere else. I don't know, but it was the best clip that I could find. So thank you guys for putting that up. I appreciate it.
To probably provide you a whole lot of value in that, simply because I don't have the expertise.
But was anything described as that we have possession of bodies?
Yes.
We have is it multiple types of creatures, or?
Sir, I couldn't answer that. I can tell you anecdotally that it was discussed quite a bit when I was
Project
at the
Blue Books
Pentagon.
has 11 different ones.
Yeah.
The problem is the supposed collection of these biological samples occurred before my time. In fact, before I was even born.
So before he was even born, right?
That would start at Roswell, at least.
At least. Like, I don't think he's that old. I think he's maybe 40s, 50s, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess probably 50s.
50.
Yeah.
Around 50.
So it just makes sense, right? And I'm sure there's been other crash things. I mean, we know there's crash and retrieval programs. That's completely like a thing. Real quick, Jess says,
I'm going to see if we can do this. Yeah.
In the early 90s, my brother and I both saw what we believed to be an alien craft. This was in Oregon. The flight pattern was really weird, and it was pretty high up. I believe it, especially in the early 90s. Over in Oregon, All right.
And was this part of the Lockheed Martin discussion, or was this the biologics is a completely separate?
Separate yet related.
Okay.
So what he's referring to there is Lockheed Martin has been a contractor for the U.S. government for a long time.
Yes.
Long time. This is pure speculation. I can't confirm. There's been theories out there that they were one of the earliest private contractors to work on alien type technology.
I believe it.
I do too. I don't know if you remember this, but when we talked about this a while back, we'd found that there were articles of back in like, I think the 40s, 50s, or 60s of them talking about like cylindrical craft, cone-shaped craft that were being tested and worked on. This was in newspaper ads.
Yeah.
Like, this was in actual newspaper ads. And then what do you know? 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, we're seeing the exact same style craft.
And you have to think, like, also, even in the 1940s, it was really prevalent in the 40s because of the war, but they would outsource a lot of work to private companies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to think that they had a private sector back then is not so surprising.
No, not at all. And I mean, to be fair too, after the war, they got a lot of technology from the Nazis,
the Germans.
There you go. The fascists. They got a lot of technology from them. So I'm not surprised one bit that we get this huge technology boom within the next 10, 15 years, which there really was. It was pretty nuts. So let's get back into it.
Has anyone made contact?
Sir, I'm sorry. Could you specify?
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication?
Like what?
Trying to implement that. He slept with them.
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication.
Like physical touch.
And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble two F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability.
He's got a good point.
The same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious.
I don't think they
have the
care
ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
We're met with.
So you notice how he danced around the question, though?
A little bit, yeah.
He didn't really answer the direct physical contact, like speaking contact.
Well, okay. So early on, he said, as far as the physicality of the bodies and entities, he didn't really have much to do with that.
Right.
with
Well,
the
no,
defense section of it,
right.
like he did. So that's
But
what he can speak on.
He didn't say that though. He didn't say I can't talk about bodies because I've never had contact. He
No.
didn't say.
No, he didn't. He didn't say
So
that.
he just kind of danced around it,
A little bit,
To me,
yeah.
he danced around it, but it was a quick way to get through the subject of yes, we've had contact, but on what you think,
And
or not what you're trying to get out.
For whatever reason, with the communication thing, the verbal, nonverbal, I'm surprised he didn't go with telepathy.
Yeah, well, I was wondering the same thing. So Kelly says, "Wow, guess I've been sleeping on this one. They're now admitting to having bodies." Yeah, yes, they are. They have fully admitted that they have recovered biologics. Now, what that means, I don't know. I don't know. We're biologics, right? Could it have been a space crash, or could it have been a crash of people? And it's our bodies, like it's humans. We don't know. We have no idea. But that's the beautiful thing of it. All right, let's get back into it.
People not wanting us to have hearings. We're met with people not wanting.
I'm going to go back
with
a little bit.
Our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
We're met with people not wanting us to have hearings. We're met with people not wanting us to ask you questions. In fact, many of us were told not to ask some of you certain questions on certain topics.
Scrubbed, the metadata can be removed.
So that right there, like obviously what the next guy was saying is something different, but that's just confirming that there are people that don't want any of this to happen.
Right.
They don't want.
There's going to be two sides to every story.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing a lot of this, the conspiracy theorists for decades have been saying a lot of this anyway, but when it comes to the nuclear equities and the protection of that, like that stuff stemmed like back in the 80s whenever the nuclear site activated by itself and they had UFOs over the thing, and then that deactivated itself.
Wild.
And that was a big story back then, and it's still a big story throughout the community. So like that half the shit that they're saying is really nothing new. It's just
but it is
in conspiracy circles.
Well,
it's not.
Yes, it is, because this is in a congressional hearing.
Exactly.
This isn't oh man, did you hear about this crazy news? Let me put my tinfoil hat on so they don't hear us talking. Like this is
exactly
in Congress, people talking about it. The people
it's confirmation.
It is the people that were labeled crazy in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now are like, dang, we got another one, boys and gals, whatever you want to say. Check mark. Looks like the crazies were right again. Anyways, are they crazy if they're telling the truth? It's always how it is. If I were to sit here and tell you that Hollywood was a bunch of vampires drinking people's blood to survive, some might call me crazy.
Just get you all drugged up like Shia LaBeouf.
I'll show you this example here. This is a presentation from the UATP task force. This is completely absurd. It's nuts, this level of censorship, of redaction on a document.
How much redaction they do.
Yeah, it's completely
how many
half a black page.
They've collected, for how many years.
I thought that was a building, not going to lie.
Are blacked out. The Pentagon...
No, he was showing how much of it's censored.
Yeah, no, I know. I just,
it's time for us to
looking at it the first time, I thought it was a building.
Thank you very much.
You also mentioned in your opening statement that the Pentagon's Public Affairs Office employs a psychological operations officer as a singular point of contact for UAP-related inquiries. Why the heck would they do that?
Sure, that's a great question. I would ask the Pentagon. There's a long history here of that individual providing misleading and false information to the public.
That's interesting.
They do that?
Interesting question for
They
that
do that?
specific guy.
Yeah.
Huh. It's like they confronted him, but look at his body language too. Like, I'm going to go back. Look at his body language with that question.
The psychological operations officer is a singular point of contact for UAP-related inquiries. Why the heck would they do that?
Sure, that's a great question. I would ask the Pentagon. There's a long history here of that individual providing misleading and false information to the public through various news outlets and media outlets in order to discredit this topic. I've personally been victim to it. We have the documentation to substantiate where this information has been absolutely inaccurate, that has been provided time and time again, and it turns out that that individual was also working with former leadership of Arrow at the time as well.
The way he postures himself, like he prepares himself to say this thing that he's probably rehearsed
Probably.
before.
Now, to be fair, I don't know who he's talking about. No idea. Could he be speaking truth? He might be. He might be talking about somebody else. He's obviously not talking. He's not going to rat himself out if it is him. I'm not saying it is him. I'm just saying.
Not that there would only be one.
I've never seen the proof to his claims. It's just claims.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen the proof to really anybody's claims, but
outside of the redaction.
Yes. No kidding. It's all right.
And we punish them by giving them multi-million dollars more than they ask for every year.
Can you speak on that at all?
Ma'am, I'm not qualified, certainly as a scientist or otherwise, to speculate points of origin. I looked at everything from a scientific perspective. So if you look at, for example, instantaneous.
I'm pretty sure, talked about if there's if there's underwater bases. So when he says points of origin, it's like where they come from.
Yeah.
So she was asking, I believe, unless she's about to ask it now, from what I remember, she brought up a question about, is there aliens in the ocean, or is there beings are they coming from the ocean, kind of thing? Mm-hmm. Which are there underground bases? We've talked about that.
Yep.
We have talked about it on the channel. So
yeah.
All right.
Acceleration, which was one of the observables of the program that I belong to, ATIP. The human body can withstand about 9 G forces for a short period of time before you suffer negative biological consequences, blackouts and ultimately redouts and even death. Comparison, our best technology, the F-16, which is this older platform, but one of our most highly maneuverable aircraft, manned aircraft, made by General Dynamics, can perform about 17 or 18 G forces before you start having structural failure, meaning that the airframe begins to disintegrate while you're flying. The vehicles we're talking about are performing in excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Gs.
You specifically said the document said you can't talk about.
That's a lot. So yeah, they were talking about also the maneuverability of these craft, where you just see them going the other way.
Where they're just like petering along, then just go.
Yeah, just gone. Yeah, nuts. There was one clip I wanted to find where this guy has a laser light and he's shining it in the sky. And they're looking for UFOs with night vision.
Yeah.
And he gets the laser light up and he points it at this, what he thinks is a UFO. And as soon as you see the light, because you can see the beam of the laser reflect back into the camera off the ship, it just boom changes trajectory immediately. Like it knew it was hit by the laser.
Like, oh.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, like it was really cool. But I'll have to find it another time.
Crash retrieval.
Well,
you can't talk about Fight Club if there's no Fight Club.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making an observation.
This, again, is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only had 2 brief hearings on it. There's more work to be done. I think the success of this hearing today will mean that there'll be more hearings in the future, greater investigation, and hopefully more whistleblowers to come forward.
She really wants... Oh gosh darn it. She really wants disclosure really bad. She's the one that heads the meetings and everything. It just grinds my gears,
It grinds my gears.
Like and that, so the problem with hearings like this, you get a lot, like these guys, a lot of the questions they were asked, like, I can't tell you in a public forum, I can tell you behind scenes and closed doors. Like I can't let you know about any of this. Yeah,
that was something Luis Elizondo kept saying, is like, I can speak with you in a public meeting about that, but I cannot
private. Yeah,
say it here. It's like, private. Sorry,
because the NDAs.
Yeah, NDAs or whatever, and there's some information that he probably knows he would get.
Yeah, most likely. Oh, absolutely.
And on that note, I want to go through his statement here, or his written testimony, because it's the shortest. His is only 3 pages long, where everybody else's like 200 pages. So this is the written testimony of Luis. Let me slide it over here on this monitor.
Okay.
All right. So that way I'm not looking this way. I can look this way. All right. So it says, greeting Chairwoman Mace, Chairman Grothman, ranking members Connolly and Garcia, and members of the committee. It is my honor and privilege to testify before you on this issue of unidentified anomalous phenomena, formerly known as UFOs. Why did we stop calling it UFOs? Because they're still unidentified.
I don't know. Because they're not. We don't know if they're flying in the sense that we know of as flying.
If they're in the air, they're flying.
But don't we identify
Could be
flying
floating.
as like, well, no, right? That's another F, yeah. It could be flying in the like. I think the way we determine flying is like with wings or with a sense of apparatus, propulsion. Well, we don't know what kind of propulsion they have, so it's just aerial phenomena.
Still UFO. On behalf of our brave men and women in uniform and across the intelligence community, as well as my fellow Americans who have awaited this day, thank you for your leadership on this important matter. Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. I believe we are in the midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race, one funded by misallocation taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. For many years, I was entrusted with protecting some of our nation's most sensitive programs. In my last position, I managed a special access program on behalf of the White House and the National Security Council. As such, I appreciate the need to protect certain sensitive intelligence and military information. I consider my oath to protect secrets as sacred and will always put the safety of the American people first. With that said, I also understand the consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11, which many of us remember all too well. I believe that America's greatness depends on three elements: a watchful Congress, a responsive executive branch, and an informed public. Over the last decade and a half, I learned that certain UAP programs were and are operating without any of these elements. Although much of my government work on the UAP subject still remains classified, excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop right there for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
So, that last paragraph about these misdeeds, people have been offed for coming forward.
Or almost coming forward.
Unaliving themselves and things like that. A lot of that's happened over the last 50 years. Yeah. But how much of that is government and how much of that is actual, these companies that have been
private contracted.
Yeah. Like Blackwater and stuff.
Who's Blackwater?
We'll get into that later.
Okay. I guess
it's another one of those secretive companies.
Well, we got a second. Hi, Susan. Glad to have you here. Thank you.
Hey. A small cadre within our own government involved in the UAP topic has created a culture of suppression and intimidation that I have personally been victim to.
What?
Along with many of my former colleagues. This includes unwarranted criminal investigations, harassment, and efforts to destroy one's credibility.
Yep.
I mean, just look at who did we talk? Bob Lazar.
Yeah, big time.
They really laid it in on him, but there's some things he knew that didn't come to light till like 20 years later, like that element 115.
Mm-hmm.
And then some other things.
Bob Lazar, I think, has definitely been vindicated personally.
There's some things
he's talked about that he's, I think, telling the truth.
Yeah. Most Americans would be shocked to learn that the Pentagon's very own Public Affairs Office openly employs a professional psychological operations officer as a singular point of contact for any UAP-related inquiries from citizens and the media. This is unacceptable. Yeah. Many of my former colleagues and I have provided classified testimony to both the Department of Defense and the intelligence community inspector general. Many of us have subsequently been targeted by this cabal with threats to our careers, our security clearances, and even our lives. This is not hyperbole, but a genuine fact, and this is wrong.
Yep.
To fix these problems, I propose 3 principal actions. First, Congress and the President should create a single point of contact responsible for a whole of government approach to the UAP issue. Currently, the White House, CIA, NASA, the Pentagon, Department of Energy, and others play a role, but no one seems to be in charge, leading to unchecked power and corruption. And also, it kind of makes these different branches a little lopsided on information, too.
It does, absolutely. When you wonder where all of our money's going.
Yeah.
Not foreign countries. Oh, wait, no, that is happening. Sorry.
Second, we need a national UAP strategy that will promote transparency and help restore the American public's trust at a time when the public's trust is at an all-time low. This strategy should include a whole of government approach, including the academic and scientific communities, the private sector, and our international partners and allies. Third, Congress should create a protected environment so whistleblowers desperate to do the right thing can come forward without fear. As it currently stands, these whistleblowers suffer because of stigma, a code of silence, and concerns about retaliation.
Yeah.
Edward Snowden.
Mm-hmm.
They go to these other countries and, try to get an amnesty.
Yep.
These whistleblowers should be encouraged to come forward in ways to protect them against any forms of retaliation.
Yeah.
Policies and procedures should ensure that protection, and for those who refuse to cooperate, it is up to the members of this committee and other lawmakers to wield their subpoena power against hostile witnesses and prevent additional government funding to those UAP efforts that remain hidden from congressional oversight. Now, that third one, it's a tad bit cheesy to me.
Why is that?
It's like paranormal unity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice dream. It's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen. People's ego get too much in the way.
Well, I mean, you think in terms of the retaliation, people getting unalived, you think these government programs are going to come out and say, yeah, he was talking too much, we just had him whacked?
Yeah, right. No, that's not going to happen.
No, it's all going to be secret. They're not going to, you can't control that.
No.
It's not going to happen.
Kelly wants to know, what the heck is a UAP? Unidentified aerial phenomena is what they're calling it now.
Basically a UFO.
Yeah. They're not calling it UFOs. The government's calling them UAPs for some reason.
They went woke.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty much. So in closing, we as Americans have never been afraid of a challenge. In fact, we thrive on them. Whether it's eradicating polio or going to the moon, we don't run from a challenge. We take it head on. To the incoming administration and Congress, I say to you, we need immediate public transparency. And this hearing is an important step of that journey. If we approach the UAP topic in the same way as Americans have met other challenges, we can restore our faith in our government institutions. Together, we can usher in a new era of accountable government and scientific discovery. I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth. And I also believe that the world deserves the truth. Thank you, esteemed members of Congress, for your time today. It is profoundly appreciated by many. Now, something that popped in my head here.
Yeah.
If we've had all of this technology for decades,
yeah,
who's to say because of that technology, we now have the Mandela effect?
Possibly.
Time travel, my friend. Time travel.
Possibly.
That's the thing, the Hadron Collider. They've
been infinite possibilities, man.
Yeah. Well, take this walk with me for a second.
Okay.
We'll get back. We'll bring it all back here in a minute. But like the Hadron Collider, they're opening up black holes and teleporting,
trying to find the God particle,
teleporting particles from point A to point B. Plus, we get all this technology from these UAP UFOs. If we were able to go back in time and change one little thing,
yeah,
obviously the whole world, our reality, would not know that it happened.
Yeah,
it would just magically happen like that, and everything changes.
Well, that's why when you have memories, is like, how do you know the memory that you have takes place in the timeline that you're on, the life that you're living? Because it's all fleeting moments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
memory is just a memory up here.
So yeah, like, I don't know. I started seeing some stuff about the Mandela effect today, and it just
my cousin
rabbit hole.
My cousin and I were talking about Mandela effect the other night. Actually, it was kind of funny. It's funny that you mentioned it. So this part of the show, let's get into some of the recent footage. Let's get into some of the views, I should say.
While he's pulling that up, put it in the comments, guys. If you're watching this after the fact, you can put it in the comments. For those of you watching, do you believe that we have recovered alien bodies? And if so, do you think we're still working with them? Do you think our government works with aliens? Let us know in the comments. I think so.
I think all of that, yes. All of it, yes.
I've seen Paul. It's true.
It's so true. All right, here we go.
That's beautiful, Clark. That's not Santa Claus. That's the light from the nuclear power plant.
Right, that's really high up off the ground for a nuclear power plant. You did see the plane in the background of the right earlier. Yeah, okay, cool.
It was a Clark W. Griswold joke.
Yeah, I figured. Now it's turning. That's interesting, and it's fading. Oh, then it must have went away, so they canceled out the video.
Yeah, reset it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there goes the plane. It's interesting, right? Like that amount of lights on the back of it.
I know it makes me think it's of this Earth.
Maybe it's not
our government testing something big.
Could be. Here's another shot of it. Nice.
I like this shot.
Me too. That's a nice shot.
Purdy.
Here goes another one.
I break for no one.
It's a great movie. It's the second Spaceball reference in a week that I've heard. Within 7 days, I should say.
It's Susan, the best.
What?
Go ahead.
I'll just say Susan says yes to all of it, I think, from what you asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And absolutely. That's how Jerry talks. I had to put that in there for him.
Yep.
I got your back, Jerry.
It's turning again. Look at that.
Or maybe somebody like lost control of the steering.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Somebody get back out here. Where's the pilot?
Dang it, Dave. We can't drive like this. That is interesting, though. Like, that formation's pretty solid. Now, is that one ship or is
that's a diamond shape? Go back just a hair bit. As it was banking, it's diamond shaped.
Like right there?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights.
Okay, just keep watching it. It's a diamond shape.
No, you're not wrong. It's right there. You see it.
It's a kite. That's what it is.
It's a kite. Fuck. Okay. Sure.
Government's flying kites.
Now it's flattened out.
Wind.
It's still going.
The wind's got it.
Oh, stop.
But it's
an interesting formation. It is. It's going pretty fast. It's coming back around.
Radio, we've been spotted. Oh, God.
Another plane. Why is this so? It's because there's no light.
They're doing filters and stuff like that over it.
And there's no light source.
It just keeps coming back. Let's do that again, guys. Take 3.
Let's see if they really see us this time. That'll show them.
Who was that director that filmed the moon landing?
Stanley
Kubrick. This is a Kubrick film.
Oh my God. No wonder it's so blurry.
Take 3, guys. Let's try it again.
Look at that though. That's wild.
Another explanation of this could be drones.
Could be, yeah.
But oh God. Oh God, we lost one.
Yeah, so there was only 8 lights earlier. That's the 9th one.
This is a clearer shot.
Yeah, it is. That's a good shot.
The other one's like, oh fuck.
What makes you think is it jets in formation?
Could be. I think it could be drones, honestly.
Could be.
Dude,
that bright at night though, with that solid
yeah.
light?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull something up here in a minute.
All right,
let me find it while you're playing this.
Oh, that was the end of the clip. I'll go to the next one though.
So I just watched like an impressive drone show.
And that was it was filmed in Martigues, France. Something like that. Yeah. Turns on its axis before flying off, essentially is what the caption of the video was.
Nope. I don't want to.
Pause. There we go. Let me reshare the stream. All right. Here's the next video. You got a second? I don't want to start it if you're not.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool.
Go ahead.
This one's a short one. Now that could be a drone. It really could be. This one.
It's moving pretty slow.
Yeah. Hell, it could be a balloon. It's a big Goodyear blimp.
As slow as it's moving, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lot of things, honestly.
Jerry said stealth bomber. I think on this clip, Jerry, or the one before, because I don't think this is more of a round shape. I think, and that could be just how far away it is. It's blurry, can't really see.
Mitzi says, "Say, buddy, what if they're not coming here? I don't see a whole lot of them landing, but what if they're leaving like rats on a sinking ship?"
Absolutely, it's a big possibility. That's why. I mean, go ahead.
They've been paying attention to our nuclear space.
Yeah.
All of our installations, that maybe they know something's coming. Like I did see an article. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline and a little bit of the wording underneath it where there was like some radio communication of a warning to leave Earth because of something was going to happen. All right, let me pop this up here real quick. This is why I was saying, like, drones, they do impressive things with drones nowadays. This was the Nutcracker Christmas drone show. I guess it was Guinness Book of World Records. There's over 1,500 drones on this. But I'm just gonna play the first few seconds because I don't want a copyright thing here.
Yeah, I understand.
Get this off my screen, but check this out. This is insanity, but it's a good video, guys. If you ever want to check this out, they tell the whole story of the Nutcracker with drones. But let me skip ahead here.
Yeah, skip to the actual. Yeah.
But
and it just lights up.
Yeah. They move around. They do all these other different things.
Hey, Peter. Glad to have you here, man. Thank you.
From the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Watch out for them sharks.
Yeah, they'll get you.
But isn't that insane?
That is really cool. And then having a drone fly through it, that was dope.
Yeah. They've got a lot of drone footage of the drones.
Well, it's just amazing. Like if civilians have drones now, why can't the US government?
Yeah.
Just saying.
And
from what I've seen, the drones can change direction pretty fast.
Oh,
if you get the right speed, like speedy ones.
Like throughout the whole thing, they just like come together to make different images, and some of these images actually move in the sky.
That's wild. That's pretty cool.
It's all like see like that.
Yeah, that's moving. Nice.
Yeah,
dope, dude.
That's all.
Yeah, I think somewhere, maybe it was Japan. Oh, I love that shot. That was sweet. I think maybe it was Japan where they did like a drone fireworks show, where it was, but it wasn't a drone flying through fireworks. It was drones being set off like they're fireworks.
Oh, cool.
They were lighting up like they were fireworks. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. But let me pull up this next clip here. This one's interesting. This one to me is very interesting.
Okay. We have audio for this one?
Yes and no. It's just someone in their backyard filming. Now, some people would think, oh, it's Starlink. Well, Starlink's in a straight line. Not like this. But I have one theory.
Yeah.
Can you think of what the theory might be?
On this image here?
Yep. On this video specifically. Yep.
Outside of drones. I mean, drones are going to be a common thing now. So
right.
But for them to be stretched out like that and not
right. And
nobody's creating images or anything
right.
like that. So I don't know.
My thought process of what it might be.
Chinese balloons.
Yep. Chinese lanterns.
Lanterns, yeah. Very possible.
But it just depends on when this video is taken.
Because just looking at it, like it's moving so slightly, like it'd be floating like that.
Yeah.
And some of the pattern is kind of shifting a little bit.
It
that
is.
could be due
with
to
wind.
Yeah. So I think I would probably concur with you on that one,
Yep.
being the Chinese lanterns.
Perfect. Well, let's pull up another one. Unless you have another one ready to go.
I do not.
All right, I'll pull up another one. No big deal. This one's
No
interesting.
big deal.
No big deal.
Drones are dangerous, especially the ones that live and breathe.
You know, we were actually talking about that a little bit ago, where we don't know what they were talked about at the UFO UAP hearing back in November, that they're constantly changing their definition of what a living being is.
Yeah.
So that is a very good point. Very good point, Peter.
Like that metal that like can reform its shape and everything.
Yeah.
Like, is that a living being? Because it has memory?
Maybe. Like the Terminator?
Yeah. The Terminator.
Kind of.
Looks like a video game.
Right?
If you look over to your left, you'll see some cumulus clouds.
There's a UFO.
And then right over here, oh my God, what the hell is that? It's a ladybug.
That's a big ladybug. That's a pretty good sized ladybug.
Probably in Asia, you know.
When they even do a reverse shot. That's pretty good though. Like, you don't see just random metallic balls flying that high up in space, or not up in space, up in the atmosphere. Yeah.
Above the clouds.
Oh, there you go. Good zoomed in shot. Look at that. And then they put numbers in front of it.
I'm trying to see details.
I know,
numbers.
Right? What the hell is wrong? Like, it almost looks like there's a design like
To it,
right
yeah.
here and like on the front too.
Maybe there's just something on the window of the plane.
Maybe, but that was back in 2020, so that one's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
We'll play it one more time. Going back and forth.
It's not the going that I'm worried about. It's the coming.
It's oh god. Like, that's freaking sweet. Sorry guys.
It's
video, not me. It's freaking sweet. Pull up another one. Of course.
It eats, poops, and grows. It's alive.
Right. Now this one's questionable. I think you'll know the answer. My thoughts on this one for sure. For sure.
It's a ghost.
It's just creepy music. I don't care.
That's fine. Let it play. We need some background.
It's got lights. It's got red lights. What is that? And something just came from it. Wow!
It poops.
It poops.
I almost want to say it's like I don't know, too good of a zoom in from that distance. CGI,
right? You think it's? I was gonna say fake too. That was my claim as well. It just seems like
that person is way too big for that mountain.
Yes,
at that distance.
Unless it's a huge being
or huge piece of space poopy.
And we don't see if it lands in front, like if the thing's behind the mountaintop or in front of. But yeah. I'm leaning towards fake, personally.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Susan had a question.
What do you think the cubes in the sky that some have seen might be?
Hold on, I got one for that actually.
Pandora's box.
Give me a second. Well, I got two for that actually.
It's a twofer.
It is a twofer.
Right.
Oh, let me get zoomed in here. Hold on.
By the way, Susan, I will be going live on Patreon tonight. Kind of making a little bit of an announcement for those of you on Patreon. So if you guys watching want to join me on Patreon, the link's down in the description below.
Cheers.
It's a party up in here.
Now, this one's interesting. I've never seen a solid metallic cube like this, or like a cubish shape.
This almost looks like a stone, like in water, like the
almost, yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that. That's a very good point. But wouldn't you'd think you'd see the ripples in the water, right?
Not if it was just floating down in water.
Maybe.
I'm not saying just moving on the surface. I'm saying floating down.
Oh yeah.
You hold up like a tank or something, and you drop something in there, slow down the speed of it. Or just get like some kind
but
of
it has like a metallic crystalline structure, right?
That's what it looks like. Very, very reflective and mineral-esque.
Yeah. All right, I got one more QB.
The Metrons.
Cubert. I think I have the cube. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Yep,
I wasn't expecting to go that far down the list. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
This one could be fake, honestly, but it's well worth looking at.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show something.
Keep it in your pants.
Fuck. You're not my dad.
You're not my father. All right.
No, but I could be.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you know what that reminds me of is what are they called? Makes perpetual motion. I almost had it. Gyroscope.
Yes, that's what I was hoping you'd say that.
And they said, from what I've heard, like if you use a large amount of mercury and tumble it kind of like that, you can create perpetual motion.
Yep.
You can create its own energy field.
It's almost like it's got like like the top is this, like the cone is like up here.
Yeah.
And
then
this
there'd be
is
a wind propulsion.
Yeah.
Almost like a windmill turbine.
Yeah. But that one was probably the most interesting one, I think.
That is an interesting thing. Like,
right?
Like there's so many possibilities that I can think of with that. It's kind of odd.
I agree.
You know, I've kind of looked up like free energy and stuff like that, building wind turbines and things of that nature. And then, but it also got me thinking of, there was, shoot me for saying this, on Ancient Aliens, they were talking about,
how dare you mention that name? I'm sorry. I
Right.
don't care. Whatever. It's a good show. I like watching it. It's entertaining.
They were talking about, during World War II, the Germans were, trying to create all these different types of propulsions. And, one of them that was created was like this turbine that just generated wind. But what it did was it sucked wind in and through, so it would pull you through the air instead of pushing you through the air.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a reverse thing.
And that kind of made me think of that as well. But
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I got another one for you.
Stovetop?
Something like that.
Somebody turn off the burners.
We're wasting all the energy. Stop it. I wish they'd zoom out a little bit. Whoa, God. I think it's fake.
Possibly. I was trying to watch the two backlights to see if they move, change spaces or placement.
Oh, yeah. You can kind of see it charge up. The light gets brighter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man. I don't know.
I don't know. All right, I got a couple more.
Paper airplane with neon stickers.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Hoaxing stuff's not very expensive. You making sure that's it?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely... What?
Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely showing this one because this one's interesting to me. Looks like stuff's dropping out of it.
I was gonna say I may have seen this one. If this.
What is this?
There is audio.
The kids just pointed it out. We're in Surprise, Arizona.
Stuff dropping.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
And this thing has been flying around like this.
What is that?
And it just gone.
It's gone.
Oh, it's kind of still there, actually.
Shot real fast.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing has been flying around like this.
It's like right over here. Like it reappears or it just goes a little bit farther. Oh, right there. There it was. Yeah.
Oh, it just shot real fast.
What was that?
The kids just pointed it out. We're in Surprise, Arizona.
This one I could believe.
And this
Yeah.
thing has been flying around like this.
What is that?
It could be flares being dropped from a craft.
Maybe.
But the fact that it disappears, maybe it goes behind some cloud. But like, I don't know. I'm not a Scientologist. I don't know.
I don't claim to be smart. No, I'm kidding. Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, removed from the stream. Sorry.
So one of the things I'm just going to point out, I went on this site, or I found this site. It's the National UFO. Well, I forget what it's called. National NUFORC.org. This is a map of UFO sightings and reports here in the United States. What's interesting to me is, like, if you look at all these other countries outside of, England, Ireland, and Germany, there's not a whole lot of a little bit of stuff in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a big concentration, except for in like here and mainly here. Like, that's pretty interesting to me. And for me, like, this kind of suggests to me that a lot of it probably is our military, because of there being so much compared to the rest of the world.
Oh, absolutely.
But, like, how many people in the rest of the world know of this website or have access to this website?
Yeah.
To report stuff. Let me go to the posts here. This is kind of like MUFON. But another thing I noticed on this was, where's it at? Databank, I think it was. If we go to list of all reports, there was a period of time where there was like an absurd number of reports being sent in. And I want to say it was like the first, I want to say it's like around May or so. May, June, and July seemed to be like this hotbed of like reports that were coming in.
Well, to be fair, May, June, and July, that's people. A lot of people are outside.
Yeah.
A lot more people are outside doing things.
That's fair. A lot of these do have like photo or some kind of media with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the website is nuforc.org. You guys want to check out some of these reports and check out their data bank, their galleries, image galleries, and stuff like that. File a report.
It's a good website.
Yeah, it's I would say it's probably better than MUFON, because MUFON's now contracted.
Yeah.
So
bought and paid for.
Yep.
So I got a couple more clips. This one specifically, this next one I want to show it. I like it because it highlights birds, normal aircraft, and a suspicious object in the sky.
Okay. Bring it up, Fred Claus. That Starlink or tapeworm?
No, that's birds. Yeah, it's a tapeworm in the sky. But like, I like the night vision shot. It looks great. That's what satellites look like.
Yes.
Good call. Notice they're traveling in a specific position. Aircraft, normal aircraft, blinking light.
Yep.
Now watch this. That's moving pretty fast.
Yep.
He catches back up to it though. Check this out though. You think, oh, maybe it is a satellite. Well, changes direction. Whoa!
On a dime.
What was that?
On a dime. Larry, you passed our exit.
You can kind of see that it veers this way a little bit, and then it just shoots off.
It's like, you missed our exit. Hold on.
Wrong turn. Just literally instantly changes.
Yeah.
I love night vision shots like that. I think it's one of my. I think that's my favorite type of UAP videos or UFO videos, is stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool. All right, then I got one more here I want to show you.
All right.
Okay, we did the cube. We did that one. Make sure this is the right one. Yeah, that one's fake.
He's got a load of these guys, so.
I had a bunch, literally a bunch. So this one's very similar to the Chinese lantern one, but there is a difference.
There's a but?
Yes.
There is.
Es como que a veces se ve mal, es como que van de un lado para el otro, boludo. Amigos, están muy cerca, son ovnis tan muy cerca, claro. Ovni asegurado.
They're not like Chinese lantern lights. The color's not the same.
Okay, so the color can change with the atmosphere.
Okay. All right,
there's
you're gonna
a-
pull that card. You're gonna pull that card. Okay.
I'm just
All right.
saying.
No, I get it. I get it. I just thought it was different because it doesn't look the same like normal.
Yeah.
Like, and this is way up there. It looks
Yeah.
like
String of Christmas lights.
in the sky.
Yeah. No, with the atmospheric changes, certain elements are more dense than others.
Yeah.
And because of those densities, like they reflect different colors. It's like orbs when people take pictures of orbs. Water molecules, if they have a higher iron content, will usually produce like a reddish tint, or if there's a higher phosphorus, it might produce like a bluish tint, or different things like that. Different elements will help influence the color of light passing through moisture and things of that nature. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
for all you orb people.
And so that concludes my different takes, or my different research of different kinds of videos that are out there. There's tons more out there, you guys. There's a lot more. Like, I do think that when we have hearings like this, when the US or when the Congress has hearings, that it's just natural for sightings to go up, because it's going to make people want to be like, oh, let's go look at the sky. Like, it just more people are out there and aware that things are happening.
I think they need to have these meetings, these public hearings and stuff like that, more than once every like 5 years or something.
I think you should do it like once a month.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
keep everybody up to date on
maybe once a month, or once every like 5 months or 6 months or something like that.
Do it twice a year. That'd be fine with me.
Transparency.
That's where it should start. Not starting with like trying to talk the government into being honest. Let's
talking about it, normalizing it.
Yeah, normalize the talks, and then as people get comfortable with that,
yes,
I think more information will come out that way. So
I agree completely.
All right, guys, that's our show.
That's our UFO show.
I want to thank
join us
everybody
in 3. Yes, join us in 3 more years when we talk about UFOs again.
If you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button and the bell for notifications and all that jazz. You know how the whole spiel works. Once again, for those of you that want to join my Patreon is down in the bottom. I am going to be announcing something tonight. I'm going to try to go live on Patreon. It's got a tab for that, but I don't know. I've never used it, so we're going to try it. If not, I'll just make a video and post it. But little announcement on some stuff coming up. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got. What about you, Chuck?
I got one more thing. Apparently, the New Madrid Fault has had 7 quakes today.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're all not aftershocks, but they're all tremors. Let me pull this up here.
I didn't feel anything.
I'm seeing it now. I just happened to come across it. It says this was updated 11 hours ago, but as of 12/17, there were 7. I don't know if there's any more, but yeah, there was one there was a 2.0, 2.2, 3.0, 2.1, 1.0 or 1.8, 1.9, and 202. Plus there was one out in Nevada that was, I think, what was the size of it? I can't remember, but it was felt all the way in it was around Carson City, and it was felt in Sacramento, California. So, good times.
It's all the underground aliens leaving planet Earth.
Thanks, Jerry. We appreciate that, bud. Much appreciated. Since Tesla constructed the radio control boat 100 years ago, that's very fair. Yeah, miss you all. What was your secret? What, Jerry?
My secret is for Patreon members only.
Sorry, Jerry. His lips are sealed.
Yep, not even Charles knows.
No, I really don't know. So,
anyway.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you same time, same place next week at 8 o'clock, where we don't necessarily know what the show is going to be about, but that's okay. We'll figure it out during the week, and we'll be sure to let you all know. Maybe.
We'll see.
Who knows? Everybody have a wonderful night. Thanks for being here. And for those that are catching us later on, thank you so much for coming back and watching the show. Make sure to like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. And hit up Dave's Patreon. It would mean a lot to him. I know it really would. So
also, don't bitch about us talking in the beginning.
Yeah, it's go it's a show. We talk.
Yeah. All right, guys. For real, though. Good night.